Hi guys, good afternoon. I wanted to make this video just to um, talk about the whole pandemic situation, the COVID-19 cases happening here in the UK and of course further afield worldwide. So just not so long ago, although I didn't regard myself as such, I'm actually regarded as a key worker when I'm working as a courier for City Sprint. Um, Confirming that I got an email in my inbox just about a week ago, confirming that yeah, as a courier you are considered to be a key worker during this pandemic, and well, just really this video is based on just what it's like to work through this pandemic because first of all, living in the UK all my life, it's not something. This is something I've never experienced before. Seeing the city, London, where I live, the way it is, it's so empty, so deserted. I mean, there's still people walking around. Of course, essential workers still going about their daily business, and still certain shops and businesses, offices still open because the service they're providing is essential. So it's not so deserted, but in certain places such as Central London, the West End, the city, certain landmarks such as Piccadilly Circus, Oxford Circus, Victoria, certain sound centres around the urban area, it's just very, very deserted and very, very, quiet. It's almost like a ghost town. You could hear a pin drop. Um, but I wanted to talk about what it's like to work through the pandemic. As a courier, I mean, driving, as I've said before, the streets are so quiet now. There's barely any traffic on the roads. Um, I think the last time I was held up in a traffic jam for more than 15 or 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes probably was about 2 weeks ago now. That's how much things have changed. Excuse me, just adjust a little bit. Get some more light into the lens. So, yes, so yeah, it's just something I've never experienced before. And what makes it even more worrying is that the death toll here in the UK keeps on increasing. I think in the last 24 hours now, I'm making this video at approximately 2 p.m. in the afternoon on the 2nd of April 2020. It's a Thursday. But in the last 24 hours, although this figure must have risen, in the last 24 hours, at least 500 plus people have lost their lives. And, it's what in the beginning, when I first heard of this pandemic happening in China, and when it finally reached here in the UK, you hear a single case. It's like, okay, that's really, really sad, but it shouldn't get out of control. But now it's something that is really serious. You can't, it's not something you just brush off like that because the way the disease is so easily and readily transmissible, it's really concerning and very worrying. My mother is a nurse, so she is around people who are unwell virtually every single working day that she's out and about. And her own particular the role that she plays as a nurse is she visits vulnerable people in the community who are unwell to give them medication and to also check on their well-being and their health. And being her in her own line of work, because she's around unwell people a lot of the time, it is concerning to me because she is an essential key worker, frontline worker. She potentially could pick up the disease, and of course she could also fall wealth. She could also potentially fall sick. She could pass on to me. She could pass on to her workmates and colleagues. But of course, as her son, I am more concerned about her own well-being and how she's doing and her own health. So yeah, that is really concerning because, of course, as you were told a couple of weeks ago by the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, this is something that will undoubtedly kill many people, and there are going to be many families and loved ones who are, when we come to the other side of this pandemic, are going to be very, very unlucky. Unfortunately for them, they will have lost loved ones. I was watching the news in the very early hours of this morning, around midnight, 1 a.m., and on Sky News, a doctor who had passed away. I was watching the story, and his son was saying to the journalist on the news um, before, and we weren't taking this so seriously as such. We knew it was something bad, but we thought that it's something that should be quickly will be contained and it will be gotten under control. But we have learned the hard way that it's not something that should be joked around with. We've really learned the hard way that this is something that, it's not a joke, and it needs to be taken much more seriously. And leads me on to another point, that a lot of the frontline workers, like my mom, she's a nurse, a lot of the doctors, paramedics, and hospital workers, NHS staff, and the other emergency workers as well, they're not given the proper appropriate PPE to safeguard themselves and their health whilst they are tending to people who are suffering from the virus. And it's very concerning, because if they're not well, if they're ill, then we are all in trouble. You know, as a courier myself, I have a hand gel, I have a mask. I've got some hand gel and alcohol, hand sanitizer I keep with me when I'm working. I apply it virtually nearly 10 times a day, just to be sure, because the virus spreads so easily that you don't know who's carrying it. You don't know who's got it. Even though the person is not showing symptoms, they can still be a carrier and still pass on to someone else who may not have such a good immune system. And unfortunately, they will show symptoms, things will get worse, and potentially they could die. So, I just want to give my take and my opinion on the whole thing. In future, I will be uploading other videos as this thing continues, just about what I'm seeing as I'm working day by day. So yeah, I hope everyone's well, and that they're staying safe. And if you're not a key worker, please stay home, abide by the government guidelines. This is not just for your health, but also for your this is for your health, for the benefit of your life, and also for those near you, your loved ones, and your nearest and your dearest. Thanks.